Welcome back to Leaving Cert Plus. This is lesson 1.5. We're focusing on factorising. You learned 4 ways to factorise in your junior cert. We're focusing on the first 2 in this lesson, quadratic trinomials and highest common factor. These are really important to take forward onto your Leaving Cert. So quadratic trinomials then. I'm going to try the first one for you and then you can try this one yourself. So what you need to do is open up a pair of brackets. Your first position in each bracket, these 2 numbers need to multiply to give this first number. So I'm going to say that's x and x. The second 2 positions need to multiply to give your last number. So I'm going to say 4 and 1. Now what you need to do is take your 2 outsides, so that's 4 multiplied by x is 4x, and your 2 insides, 1 by x is 1x, and you have to decide how are you going to interact these together to create a 3x. And that has to be negative 3, so I'm going to say minus 4x and positive 1 will give you a minus 3x. So that means I'm going to put a negative sign before the 4 and a positive before the 1. What you need to do now is put both of these equal to 0 because our original quadratic is equal to 0. So I'm going to put each factor equal to 0. X plus 1 is equal to 0, solving that x is equal to minus 1. And x minus 4 is equal to 0, solving x is equal to 4. So there are my 2 answers for x. Pause the video and give this one a go. What you should have done is open up your brackets. You would have had x and x because that's an x squared. And then you would have had 7 and 1. Next, you're saying x by 7 is 7x, and 1 by x is 1x. We want a negative 6, so we're going to say it's minus 7 and a positive 1, and that will give us minus 6. So we need the minus before the 7 and the positive before the 1. X plus 1 is equal to 0, meaning x is equal to minus 1, and x minus 7 is equal to 0, meaning x is equal to 7. There are your 2 answers. For these ones here, you can see all numbers here are divisible by 3. So I'm going to divide by 3 first of all to have x squared plus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now this is a lot easier to deal with. Okay, so divide by the common factor to start off with to simplify. Now when I have this, I can just open up my brackets and say x and x. They'll both make x squared. And then I'm going to say 4 and 1. And I want a positive 3. So I'm going to say positive 4x and a minus 1. That will give me positive 3, and then the minus 1 by the 4 has to make the minus 4 as well, which it does. So we're going to say x minus 1 is equal to 0, and x is equal to 1. That's my answer, and x plus 4 is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 4, my second answer. So I'd like you to pause the video and try that question. So first of all, you want to divide across by 4. So that's going to be x squared plus 6x minus 7 is equal to 0. So then you can open up your brackets. X and x are going to multiply to give the x squared. 7 and 1 will give you a 7. And then you want a positive 6. So you want a positive 7, because that's going to give you a 7x. And then a minus 1 will give you a 6x altogether. That's going to be a minus 1. And then just to check, 7 by minus 1 is going to give you that minus 7, so it all works out. So now you want to put each bracket equal to 0. So x is equal to 1. And x plus 7 is equal to 0. So x is also equal to minus 7. So your 2 answers. That's the first type we need to remember. Second type is then your highest common factor. So what you want to focus on is the individual's coefficients first, and then the power on the variable. So we want to say the highest common coefficient here is 4. So we're going to take out a 4 anyway. Now how many x's can we take out? We can take out an x to the power of 2, because that's the lowest power on the x. So we can take out an x to the power of 2. Now the question is, what do I need to multiply this by to get this? So the coefficient, I need to multiply that by 4 to get 16. And then I need to multiply x squared by x to get x to the power 3. What do we need to multiply 4x squared by to get 4x squared? That's just the same thing, so it's plus 1. So that's your answer then. I'd like you to pause the video and give this one a go. So first of all, focusing on the number. So we got 21 and 35. The highest common factor there is going to be 7. Next, if we focus on the x's, we got x to the power 1 here, and then x to the power 3. So the highest one we can take out is x to the power of 1. Then our y's, we got y to the power of 2 and y to the power 2. So it's present in both, so we can take it out. Now what do I need to multiply this by to get this? So the coefficient, I need to multiply by 3. 3 by 7 is going to give me 21. Then I've got an x, and I've got an x up here, so I don't multiply by anything. And then the same thing with the y. So we've got y squared, we've already got a y squared here. So if I multiply this by 3, I'm going to get that. I'm happy enough. On to the next term. 7 by what is going to give me 35? The answer is 5. Then we've got x multiplied by what is going to give me x cubed. I need to multiply by x squared here. So x squared by the x will give me that x cubed. Then I've got a y cubed or y squared, and I'm happy enough. That's all I need. So this is the answer. Pause the video and try this one. So here the highest common factor is going to be 3. So we can take out a 3, and then with the x's, you could take out an x to the power 2. That's the highest we can go. So then what do I need to multiply that by to get that? Our number anyways is 2, and then it's going to be x to the power of 2, because I need an extra 2 on top of this 2. Next, we need to multiply by 3, and then my x's are okay at x squared. That's all I need. So that's my answer. Next one, pause the video and give it a go. So if you take out a 13 to start off with, that's the highest common factor. Then with your x's, you can take out an x to the power of 1 maximum. This one only has a 1. Then with your y, you can take out a y squared maximum. What do we need to multiply this by to get that? It is just itself, so that's just plus 1. Over here, you need to multiply by 3 anyways to get up to 39. And then you got x to the power 3. We've only got x to the power 1 here, so we need an extra 2. So it's x to the power 2. And then you need an extra y as well, because you're only at y squared here, you need to get up to y cubed. So that's y. And that's your answer. Okay, so there's a revision of the first 2 types of factorising you will learn at Junior Cert that you need for Leaving Cert. That's all for lesson 1.5. Thanks for watching Leaving Cert Plus. I'll see you again in lesson 1.6.
If you like this video, you'll love our notes. You can get some for free in the link in the description of this video.